Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're not new, welcome to my channel. If you are, I'm Margie and we do shenanigans here. And in today's shenanigan, I bit off way more than I could chew. But hey, it's good because I got rid of so many fabric scraps. As you have guessed from the title and thumbnail of this video, I have made none less than 6 corset tops completely out of stash fabric. Was this project absolutely back-breaking? Yes, it was. Did it take me much longer than I realized? Yes, but not because of me, actually, because of the eyelets that insisted on not showing up at my doorstep. But I am so happy with these corsets. I envision myself wearing these a lot, and I do think that stash busting, not for the sake of stash busting, but like to actually create garments, is my favorite type of stash busting, because I have tried projects just to like stash bust just because, but haven't really enjoyed those because they end up sitting right in front of me in the form of a giant pillow. I'm looking at you, dog. Yeah, without further ado, let's dive into the making of these corset tops. I thought I was gonna make 3 or 4, but I'm gonna make 6 of these. So, and each of these has a little name. So, let's see the corsets I'm gonna make. This, the number 1, I've dubbed my Versailles corset because the prince reminds me of the 18th century, and also I hopefully am gonna go to Versailles this summer for a day trip because I am doing a Europe trip, so I hope to wear this. This is kind of like, I've lovingly dubbed this my Snow White corset, so it's like 2 cottons, and there is this sateen. Not sure what I'm gonna do with this, but like I feel like it's cute with this combination. Then we have moss corset, which is going to be this with like the center has an overlay of this pastel chiffon. This is kind of like I would say miscellaneous pink corset because it's going to be this cotton in either the center or accents, and this silk, which is actually quite ruined, but over that silk I'm going to have this chiffon to kind of like hide the fact that it is a mess and provide a lovely background. And I want to integrate this ribbon. This is the lavender corset because it's pretty self-explanatory. I have a crap ton of this lavender chiffon left over, brown wool as the underside, and I'm just gonna have like this, and it's a very pretty lavender color. It doesn't really show up on camera right now. This is my tweed corset because quite self-explanatory. Wool, center tweed, bam. And this, I would say, is a Versailles Rococo corset because the protagonist in this corset is going to be this pink silk fabric, which is kind of ruined as well, but hopefully less ruined parts. And these flower appliques, I want this to be the center bit. And, yeah, I mean, look at that. And I'm gonna have all those appliques all over. And then I have divided my lining materials in lightweight, so these can go with sturdier cottons such as these, or like, for example, this wool, and this is not wool, by the way, this is synthetic crepe, but definitely needs a sturdier lining. Then I have the heavyweight linings, which are the calico and this jersey. And then I have this kind of miscellaneous thing, which is like pretty lining, which actually looking back, I don't think I'm gonna use because it's either heavier or lightweight, but I think all of these need some sort of structure. So yeah, that's my plan. I realized I said Snow White. This is Little Red Riding Hood. So yeah, she's Little Red Riding Hood, not Snow White. I messed up the lining categories, so here we go again. Lightweight, this still gives structure, but not as much structure. Medium weight, fair amount of structure for fabrics that are sturdy and not damaged. Very, very not lightweight, which is for the ruined fabrics and for the silkier and slinkier fabrics. That's a jersey, so it's gonna be pretty sturdy. Right, so I am going to use only one pattern for these corsets. with small variations. So maybe I want one to lace in the back, maybe I want one to lace in the front, but I will drape a base pattern with some calico over here, and then I will transfer it to paper and make the adjustments as needed. Ta-da! Here is the finished corset pattern on the side and in the back. Highly recommend draping your own little corset pattern. This only took me about 25 minutes and it is to my measurements and to my liking, and I can trim it as much as I want and adjust it. Like now, for example, I want to already do an adjustment over here, lengthen the strap, shorten the bodice. But yeah, so I'm gonna do that, take it off the mannequin. Also, the darts are not gonna be in the actual fabric. It was just to have the fabric lay as smoothly as possible and then basically translate as a paper pattern, because I decided I'm just gonna use these calico pieces as my pattern. I have cut out all the pieces. They are over there, kind of like overlapped, and then there's a couple more right there. But we are starting with the Versailles corset because this is the corset that started all. This is the only one that I had a solid idea for in the first place, and quite frankly, this is the one that I have concrete plans to wear this summer, so it's the first one that needs done. So let's get to it. I have this is going to be for the binding because I did think about, you know, doing like turning it inside out method, but I do prefer binding. I'm more comfortable with maneuvering the fabric, even though it is more time consuming and tedious. So I have my linings under here and I have my fabrics. So let's start pinning these pieces together and sewing them. Alright, just wanted to show you the boning configuration for this corset and all the corsets to follow. So it's gonna be, this is how I usually do my normal corsetry. One bone right at the edge over here, then another one in the space for the 8 metal eyelets that will be punched in here, then one bone zip tie for each seam except for the back, which is double boned. And it's all in here now. Tried it on, it fits perfectly with a nice lacing gap, which can look good with or without a stomacher. So I decided that I'm gonna do the corset entirely before the stomacher, because obviously the stomacher is gonna depend on what the corset looks like when it's fully finished. So I calculated this, and I will need a total of 20 metal eyelets for each corset. So I only have enough for 2 corsets right now, but I will get some more. And yeah, I'm loving this. I mean, so cute. And I'll do the same fabric binding. Okay, so here's the stomacher. This is the inside. I sewed over here, and I'm gonna flip it inside out and figure out a boning configuration. My camera's about to die, so unfortunately I can't film that, but I will sign back in when I am done. Look at her. So here's the stomacher. Kind of wobbly and wonky, but doesn't really matter because it's going to be covered up by lacing. All I needed was a base of the same fabric, and I will have to say it blends in perfectly. I'm really happy with it. Right, the main construction of Versailles is done. I'm so happy with the binding. I only need to put in the grommets. Right, I am back, and I'm gonna start on Bog Witch right now. So I've gotten all the seams pinned right here. I have also been doing this thing both with Versailles and Bog Witch, which I have significantly taken in the back seam so that I can have a nice aesthetic lacing gap for the stomacher, or if I choose to go without a stomacher. How Bog Witch is doing. I was able to put in the bottom binding tonight and stitch all the boning channels in today. So I'm predicting that I'll be able to put in the top binding tomorrow. Quick check-in, I'm just leaving for the night, and I am bringing my Bog Witch with me. Unfortunately not my camera because I don't want to bang it up too much in my backpack, but I am predicting that I'll have the top binding done by tonight and re-update tomorrow. Bog Witch is done! Look at her, I'm so happy with her. So the corset is waiting to be grommeted, and we're gonna put that next to Versailles, but we have a little bit of a change of plans here on our hands. I didn't really pick between the colors of the stomacher with this lime green and the same green of the corset. I am going to make it double-sided, so yeah, I still need to sew that and see how I like it. So I think it's gonna turn out great. All right, started on Victorian couch, and the rest is pinned over here. I really like this color. I am really glad I was able to get the bits of the fabric that weren't that ruined. I'm gonna deal with appliques after all the channels and everything have been stitched, because I'm gonna hand tack those on. First applique cut out for Victorian couch. Love it, honestly. I'm going to see how many I want. I'm waiting to cut out more applique until I can put, you know, Victorian couch over here on the dress form and figure out where I want the applique to lie so that I can visualize it better. So this is our lovely, lovely lady Victorian couch. I mean, look at her. I'm so proud of these appliques. I haven't stitched them yet, as you can see they're still pinned, but I think it looks so cool. And it's giving exactly the vibes I wanted it to give. So very, very happy about this. Little Red Riding Hood. I don't know how much I've done as of talking for this corset, but basically I've already stitched it and I'm gonna stitch the binding very, very soon. The bottom binding, I was just calculating the top hem binding. Very tedious. Okay, Little Red Riding Hood, the binding is still in progress over here, but otherwise she is gonna be ready to be grommeted. The grommets should get here pretty soon. This is our little flower fairy. I'm so excited about this color combo. The binding is all pinned on. I am planning to stitch it tonight, and yes, it needs a good ironing. Miss Sherlock Holmes over here. Haven't recorded much of her, unfortunately, just because of the memory card just filling up and everything on my camera, but I've cut the bottom and I still need to refine it a little bit, and now I need to cut the top so that I can go ahead and cut my binding strips. I really hope this will be enough, but looking at it now, I think I do have a decent amount of fabric to work with, obviously ignoring this bit, because past Margie did not have the foresight that I would ever use this. So we're gonna see what we can do. Beautiful tweed / Sherlock Holmes corset is done. And with that, all my corsets are done. Look at that, and ready to be grommeted. Hello friends, and welcome to grommeting hell, where nothing works out like it seems it's gonna be. Just look at these suckers. Look at them. So finally, here I am. I finished grommeting all the corsets. You have not seen, I have taken a huge 2 or 3 week break from this project because of the lack of eyelets, but finally I have all the corsets, and no, unfortunately, I did not get to take reveal pictures of the Versailles corset in Versailles because I did not end up going to Versailles. Oh well, that's for another time. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you want more sewing content. And here's the reveal.